Welcome to Movies, Music, etc., where we break down all your favorite movies, music, well, etc. I'm your host, Kay Sands, and this is The Breakdown. Today, we're kicking it up a notch and diving into one of the wildest adventure slash horror movies of the late 90s, a true defining movie of the generation. Today, we're looking at the 1999 smash hit, The Mummy. Let's get into it. The Mummy is hands down the movie I watched the most in my life and pretty much based my entire personality from it when I was a teen. I must have watched it 2 to 3 times a week when it came out on VHS. Yep, I'm that old. And the one liners in this movie was part of my everyday speech. That's until I realized my life wasn't full of action and adventure. The movie immediately kicks off with what seems to be the opening title shot, but nope, we're in ancient Egypt, mother pharaohs, giving us a brief history lesson as to how Imhotep became, well, the mummy. Imhotep is the pharaoh's high priest, and it seems like he's having a bit of an affair with Anck-su-namun. Yeah, rule number one, homie, don't sleep with the boss's wife. But I get it. I'd risk my life too. Hell, she helped jumpstart a whole generation into early puberty. Long story short, the pharaoh catches them, they kill the pharaoh, Anck-su-namun stabs herself to give Imhotep time to escape. He grabs her body, he runs off to Hamunaptra, the city of the dead, intending to resurrect her using the Book of the Dead. It almost works until the pharaoh's guards, the Magi, crash the party and ruin everything. Bunch of jerks. Hey, your boss is dead. Go clock out already. A fun behind the scenes fact for you, the gold body paint on the actress Anck-su-namun took 4 hours to apply and was very difficult to remove, allegedly. Also, the opening narration was supposed to be Rick O'Connell, but Brandon Fraser apparently didn't think he had the right gravelly tone for it. He's then cursed with the Hamdai, the worst curse ever devised. Basically, they cut out his tongue, wrap him like a burrito, throw a bunch of flesh eating beetles in his lonely underground bungalow, and then make him clock in early for his graveyard shift by burying him alive. Then we jump forward thousands of years to the year 1923, where we start to meet our main characters like Rick O'Connell, played by Brendan Fraser, an American servant in the French Foreign Legion, and is currently stationed right on top of Hamunaptra. They are being besieged by the enemy. His commanding officer ditches them, leaving Rick in charge of a bunch of scared soldiers and Benny. No, Benny, the ultimate slimy cockroach of a human being. Benny is Rick's worst friend ever, and according to Benny, his only friend.
You came back from the desert with a new friend, didn't you, Benny?
But friend, you are my only friend.
When the battle looks lost, Benny locks himself inside the temple, and Rick finds himself surrounded, out of ammo, and a huge army closing in on him. The sands give way under Rick's feet, revealing that it's part of Imhotep's face. The horses freak out, the men retreat, and Rick lives to fight another day. Quick fun fact for you all, Rick O'Connell's role was originally supposed to go to actors like Sylvester Stallone or Tom Cruise, which makes me think this movie would have turned out a lot different. But Brandon Fraser really made this his own role. His energy is unmatched in this film, bringing the perfect mix of adventure and humor. Till this day, I still think the chemistry between Brandon Fraser and Rachel Weisz was one of the best they can be. I can't think of anyone else who could actually play these two. Speaking of Rachel, this is where we meet her character, Evelyn. She's a librarian and she's currently destroying a library. You could tell she's a librarian by her telling us.
I am a librarian.
See? And with her fancy ladder skills, she destroys the library, which is both painfully and hilarious to watch. Clearly an expert in the Dewey Domino system, Rachel Weisz has such incredible comic timing in this movie. The entire library sequence was actually done in one shot, because if they would have messed it up, it would have took forever just to put it all back together. After getting put on blast by her boss that said he'd rather have the plagues of Egypt than have her around, don't worry, you'll get your chance. She goes into the back room where her brother Jonathan scares the living dead out of her. Pun intended. He shows Evie a key and a map that he found that supposedly leads to Hamunaptra. Evie, being the massive nerd for Egyptology, is ecstatic. Nerd. It is revealed that the key came from a man Jonathan stole it from in a local pub. This leads them to the prison where they find Rick, waiting to be hanged for his deserter shenanigans at Hamunaptra. Look at Brandon Fraser in this scene. Long hair, dirty, rugged, a real George of the Jungle look. After punching Jonathan in the face for stealing from him, Evie asks him if he really knows how to get to Hamunaptra, and he swears that he does.
You swear?
Every damn day.
No, I didn't mean that.
I know what you meant. I was there.
And she needs to get him out of there because he's about to get executed. And I'd like to apologize to all my friends, family, and mostly teachers who had to hear me quote this movie 100 times a day. Almost too late as they start to hang Rick, but his neck did not break. He's just hanging there. Evie tries to negotiate with the corrupt prison warden to save Rick's life, and they settle on 25% of what they find, saving Rick. Fun fact, during the scene, Brendan Fraser actually passed out while hanging. He said the stunt went wrong and blacked out, waking up to the medics. They actually used the shot in the movie where he was actually really choking. With Evie, Jonathan, and a Rick that looks like a damn snack to Evelyn, we are now joined by the sweaty warden. They board a riverboat and head to the desert. Now on the boat, we meet the competition, a group of stereotypical American treasure hunters led by Dr. Alan Chamberlain, an Egyptologist that doesn't think women are very capable. Come on, man. Do you want her to rough you up like that she did that library? They're also led by none other than Benny, who survived the battle. Rick and Benny share a delightful moment of reunion. Suddenly, the boat is attacked, and it's the Magi. They are trying to stop anyone from finding Hamanatra and unleashing the curse. Guns go off, things explode. Jonathan attempts to steal from the Americans again, and everyone has to jump overboard. Rick saves Evie, the boat burns, and the survivors have to meet up on shore. All the horses and equipment on the other side of the river with Benny and the Americans comes one of the most quoted lines in this movie.
Hey! O'Connell! It looks to me like I've got all the horses!
Hey, Benny! Looks to me like you're on the wrong side of the river!
Whenever anyone told young K-Sans he needed to go anywhere, I would just tell them that they are on the wrong side of the river. Yeah, I got beat up a lot. They get themselves some camels and head out to find the city of the dead. After traveling for a couple days in the desert, they meet up with the Americans and Benny. A race unfolds with Evie being the first one in the city. Everyone starts exploring. Rick and his team find the statue of Anubis where they are ran off by the Americans, so they find a way to dig up from underneath the statue, and that's where we find the mummy's coffin. And I know it's called a sarcophagus, but there is no way I'm going to be able to say that correctly too many more times. So I'll just say coffin. After everyone calls it a day, they're just sitting around a campfire talking about what they found. And they are attacked by the Magi again. The leader, Ardith Bay, tells them to leave or die. Fun fact, Ardith Bay is an anagram for Death by Raw, and the actor that played him was only 23. I know, right? I would have never guessed it. He looks so grown up. Next morning, after ignoring the Magi's warning, they start digging again, and they go through what they found. The Americans find the holy jars with the Anck-su-namun's inside of them, and what you know, the Book of the Dead, which needs the same key as the coffin to open, which Evie tells the sexist Dr. Alan Chamberlain he needs.
I believe you need a key to open that book.
Not very capable of you, Dr. Alan Chumber Dick. They see that the key they have goes to this coffin. Talk about luck. They do what any intelligent person would do, but shouldn't. They open it up and see that the CGI in this movie still holds up to this day. And just like the mummy, it's still juicy. Later that night, Evie and Rick steal the Book of the Dead from Dr. Jerkface and use the key to open it. Because a locked book is probably safe, right? No harm ever came from reading a book.
It's just a book. No harm ever came from reading a book.
Clearly, she never seen Cabin in the Woods or The Evil Dead. Evie reads a passage from the book and, holy shit, the Book of the Dead gives that juicy mummy some life. Dr. Chambers shit wakes up and yells, "You mustn't read from the book." A little too late, dude. This part of the movie also starts to bring out the classic horror elements as the mummy wakes up, now a living corpse, ready to cause some chaos. His main mission is to get all the organs back and resurrect his girlfriend. To be in love. Everyone runs from the plague of locusts into the temple where Evie and Rick get separated. The mummy finds one of the Americans that took one of the jars, takes his eyes, which is weird because this dude is blind as a bat, but that's okay. He can see Evelyn now. No, that's Evelyn. Rick finds Evie where he gets in a screaming match with the mummy, but cheats and shoots him. But he'll be back. They run out where they run into the Magi, where they tell them that they're all doomed. Again, everyone's saying the obvious. Then we cut to Benny, who is still in the temple, and look who he finds, the mummy. Benny starts praying in different languages, trying to stop the mummy. He doesn't stop until Benny holds up a Star of David and speaks Hebrew, which, if you know anything about ancient Egypt, the mummy recognizes. And if you don't, you know. Come to find out, the mummy is sympathetic and doesn't want to hurt Benny. See? Ah, shit, never mind. The rest of the gang GTFOs back to Cairo, and this is where all the curses begin, and the mummy is on the rampage to find out who stole his damn jars. Hey, that's his girlfriend, dude. Rick finds out that Benny is helping the mummy, and threatens him until he tells him the mummy's plans. Evie and Rick go to the museum where Evie works to try to get some answers on how to take down this mofo. There, they find out her boss is part of the Magi. That's why he tried burning the map earlier. They read from a stone slab and find out that they need to find the Book of the Living, which is back in Hamanatra. So they get chased out of the city, but not before Imhotep takes Evie. The mummy has collected all the jars and took all the life force from the Americans, and now Homeboy is at full power. Imhotep takes Benny and Evie and travels via Wizard of Oz style back to Hamanatra. Rick, Jonathan, and Ardith Bay, which they have to hitch a ride with Winston, a World War I pilot. The plane gets knocked out of the sky by a big sand wall with a face in it. Yay, 90s CGI. Everyone makes it back to Hamanatra, where Rick and Ardith Bay fight off the skeletons and find the Book of the Living. Finally, Evelyn is about to get resurrected as the mummy's girlfriend, but Rico Badass steps in. This is where we get the awesome shots of him fighting all the guards and taking the mummy out one last time. Evelyn finally gets her hand on the Book of the Living, or the Book of the Dead, whichever you want to call it. She says the special words every adventurer loves to hear when you're fighting a powerful cursed homewrecker.
Kadishmal, Kadishmal. Paradus, Paradus.
And takes away Imhotep's immortality. This scene gives us the best moments in the movie. Evelyn reads from the book and takes the mummy's soul away. He becomes mortal again, then Rick stabs him with the sword, and he falls back into a dark liquid. Seeing the temple is sinking back in the sands, our heroes barely make it out. But we see Benny is trapped inside. Dude, she told you.
Oh, nasty little fellows such as yourself always get their comeuppance. Always.
See? We finally see our heroes riding off into the sunset with some of Hamanatra's gold. It's just like in real life. I'm the guy on the other camel. Hey, why don't I ever get the girl? This movie is the definition of a great summer blockbuster. It's funny, it's scary, it's action-packed, it has it all. And it had an $80 million budget but made over $400 million worldwide. Holy crap, no wonder they had a sequel made so fast. I could personally watch this movie over and over again. And that's it for the breakdown of The Mummy. If you like this movie as much as I did, let me know in the comments. Also, make sure to like and subscribe for more breakdowns. See you on the next one. Just kidding. I'm Pickle Rick!